Today we come to discuss a recently hot topic. The rumor about the Chinese Navy building a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. I have always paid close attention to great power competition and industrial development. And this matter interests me greatly because it not only relates to China's naval strength, but also might change the global strategic landscape. First, let us look at the specific content of this rumor. Recently, there have been reports claiming that China is building a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. And the scale of this carrier is astonishing. With a displacement exceeding 100,000 tons and equipped with 4 electromagnetic catapult tracks, potentially matching the U.S. Ford-class carrier. On March 3, 2025, a user on the X platform posted that American media, through satellite imagery, discovered that the Jiangnan shipyard in China might be constructing a large nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, with a hull length exceeding 300 meters and a width close to 80 meters. Similar in design to the Fujian, but noticeably larger. More crucially, satellite images show traces of 4 electromagnetic catapult tracks on the hull, meaning it can launch multiple heavy carrier-based aircraft simultaneously, with very strong combat capability. In November 2024, the Associated Press also reported an incident, saying that a land-based nuclear reactor prototype appeared in a certain area of Sichuan province, with experts analyzing that it might be prepared for a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, as carriers require small, high-power nuclear reactors to provide continuous power. Although these materials cannot fully confirm the rumor, they indeed make people feel that China might be secretly advancing a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier project. On March 14th, the Chinese Ministry of Defense responded, calling it pure speculation and stating that China's aircraft carrier development is based on national security and technological progress considerations. However, this ambiguous response, on the contrary, makes people think there might be something to it, because China has always kept military projects confidential, and when they are made public, they are often already completed. Next, let us analyze whether China has the capability to build a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. I believe the answer is yes, as China has already mastered the relevant technologies. First, let us look at nuclear propulsion technology. China has had nuclear submarines since the 1990s, such as the 093 type and 094 type, both using pressurized water reactors that operate very stably, proving China's experience in the miniaturization of nuclear propulsion. The reactors needed for nuclear-powered aircraft carriers are more complex, but in principle they are consistent, requiring smaller volume, higher power, and ensuring safety and durability. The land-based nuclear reactor prototype in Sichuan is a signal, indicating that China is preparing for nuclear propulsion in large warships. Additionally, China's small nuclear reactor technology is quite mature. For example, the Linglong-1, the world's first small reactor to pass the International Atomic Energy Agency's safety review, which began construction in Hainan in 2023 and is scheduled to be connected to the grid in 2025. Although the Linglong-1 has a small power output, its technology is scalable and can be fully adapted for use in aircraft carriers in the future. China's nuclear power technology has progressed rapidly in recent years, with nuclear power accounting for 4.5% of the national electricity supply in 2024, and it is still growing quickly, with this technological accumulation fully supporting the development of nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. Let us also look at shipbuilding capacity. China is absolutely number one in the world. In 2024, China's shipbuilding completion volume accounted for more than 40% of the global total, far surpassing South Korea and Japan. Even more impressive is that China secured 60% of the world's new ship orders, whether commercial ships or military vessels, with Chinese shipyards' orders filled through 2028. Shipyards like Jiangnan Shipyard and Dalian Shipyard have the capability to build 100,000-ton warships, and the Fujian was built by Jiangnan Shipyard, with an 80,000-ton displacement and electromagnetic catapults already in use. Electromagnetic catapult technology is key to nuclear-powered aircraft carriers because it consumes a huge amount of electricity, which conventional power struggles to support, while nuclear power can provide stable, high-power electricity. China's breakthrough in electromagnetic catapults, combined with its industrial foundation in shipbuilding, means building a 100,000-ton nuclear-powered aircraft carrier is not a problem at all. I have always believed that it is very reasonable for China to increase its naval construction efforts, not just because of strategic needs, but also because it has a huge impact on the economy and technology. First, naval construction can increase employment. Building a carrier involves a wide range of industries such as steel, electronics, machinery, and aviation, with direct and indirect employment possibly exceeding 5 million people. In 2023, China's shipbuilding industry directly employed over 2 million people and indirectly supported at least 3 million livelihoods. If several more nuclear-powered aircraft carriers are built, the industrial chain will grow longer. For example, nuclear reactors require support from materials science and energy engineering, which can create high-tech jobs. With China's youth unemployment rate exceeding 20% now, the military industry is a good outlet that can stabilize employment. Second, naval construction stimulates technological innovation. Nuclear-powered aircraft carriers require breakthroughs in small reactors, electromagnetic catapults, and carrier-based aircraft adaptation. And this research and development process will drive the entire technological ecosystem forward. For example, electromagnetic catapult technology can be used in high-speed rail and new energy equipment, while nuclear reactor technology can be promoted to civilian nuclear power. In 2024, China's AI patent applications accounted for 60% of the global total. And if combined with naval technology, intelligent carrier-based systems will become stronger. This technological spillover effect is very obvious, as Soviet nuclear submarine technology later gave rise to civilian nuclear power, and American carrier technology advanced the aviation industry. If China builds ships on a large scale, technological progress will be faster. Third, naval construction can prosper the economic ecosystem. The shipbuilding industrial chain drives upstream and downstream industries, such as steel, electronic components, and radar systems, which will grow stronger due to military demand. In 2023, China's shipbuilding industry corporation's profits grew by 15%, and this money can be reinvested in research and production expansion, forming a virtuous cycle. More importantly, military technology can be converted to civilian use. For example, the Fujian's electromagnetic technology has already been tested in some industrial equipment. Once this economic ecosystem prospers, it can drive the industrial upgrading of the entire country. Fourth, a powerful navy can ensure peace. China's foreign trade relies on sea transport for 90%, with a trade dependency ratio of 33% in 2023, and the safety of maritime routes directly impacts the economy. Without a strong navy, the shipping lanes in the South China Sea and Indian Ocean could easily be choked. Now China has over 370 warships, and the 055 type destroyers and 074 type submarines are already capable of deterring opponents. If nuclear-powered aircraft carriers are added, far-sea combat capability will be stronger, and the situation in the Taiwan Strait and South China Sea will be more stable. A peaceful environment is the foundation for economic development, and this is beyond doubt. Finally, naval construction can also generate foreign exchange through exports. In 2023, China's arms exports grew by 4.8%, mainly submarines and frigates, with clients including Pakistan and some African countries. If nuclear-powered aircraft carrier technology matures, related equipment can be exported, such as small reactors, radar systems, or even entire frigates. Russia's arms sales accounted for 10% of its exports in 2022, and China can fully follow suit. using military exports to compensate for the reduced trade surplus pressure. This can not only generate foreign exchange, but also expand international influence. Next, let us see the challenge this poses to the U.S. Navy. The U.S. currently has 11 aircraft carriers and 290 warships, with the strongest global deployment capability. But China's Navy is developing too fast, with the total number of warships exceeding that of the U.S. in 2023. And although it only has 3 aircraft carriers, the Fujian's technology is already approaching U.S. levels. If China builds a 100,000-ton nuclear-powered aircraft carrier equipped with 4 electromagnetic catapult tracks, its combat capability will directly rival the Ford class. The U.S. Navy's advantage will shrink, especially in the Indo-Pacific region, where U.S. military spending in Asia-Pacific accounted for 30% of the total in 2023. But the frequency and coverage of China's naval activities have already put pressure on the U.S. More troubling is that the U.S. now faces many difficulties. First is the decline of manufacturing. The U.S. shipbuilding industry is almost dead, with a shipbuilding completion volume of only 1.2% of the global total in 2023, and its supply chain depends on China and South Korea. The Ford-class carrier maintenance cost is $6 billion per year, and in 2023, U.S. Navy maintenance costs accounted for 18% of military spending because of aging parts and outsourced technology, with very low efficiency. Second is the issue of dollar hegemony. U.S. military spending in 2023 was $8,600 billion, accounting for 3.5% of GDP. But because the dollar is the world currency, the U.S. can sustain it with borrowing. However, this also leads to Wall Street chasing quick money, abandoning manufacturing, with manufacturing employment accounting for only 8% in 2023, far below China's 27%. Finally, military spending efficiency is low, with $600 billion of the 2023 U.S. Department of Defense budget untraceable, and weapon projects severely over budget. For example, the F-35 fighter plane single unit price is $1.1 billion. The U.S. maintains over 800 bases worldwide, with overseas military spending accounting for 1% of GDP in 2023, which can be cut in half to invest in domestic industry. I have always believed that the U.S. should accept the fact of China's rise and coexist peacefully with China. The U.S. problem is not too many aircraft carriers, but manufacturing hollowing out and military spending waste. If it continues to confront China, an arms race will only intensify and might even lead to a hot war, destroying human civilization. The 2023 military exercise confrontations between the U.S. and China in the Taiwan Strait and South China Sea were already very dangerous, with the closest distance between the two sides' warships being only a few hundred meters. Human civilization has come a long way, and there are no winners in a nuclear war. The U.S. should use its resources to revive manufacturing. For example, rebuilding the shipbuilding industry, investing $50 billion to reconstruct the supply chain by 2029, while reducing overseas bases to control military spending within $6,000 billion. China, on its side, will also focus more on peaceful development, with military spending at 1.3% of GDP in 2023, far below the U.S. And as long as it is not provoked, China will not initiate war. Finally, I want to say that the Chinese Navy building a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier is the responsibility of an industrial powerhouse. If the rumored 100,000-ton aircraft carrier becomes a reality, it will take the Chinese Navy to a new level while driving economic and technological progress. Instead of confronting the U.S., it would be better to cooperate to address human challenges like climate change and energy crises. That is all for today's video. Friends who like it, remember to like and subscribe. And see you next time.